Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, I got a black eye today. But you should see the other guy.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I hear the other guy was a tarmac. Huh?
Yeah, Scottsdale Airport, tripped over my own luggage.
Yeah.
More embarrassing than painful. How about that?
We begin today with a sweep in the NBA playoffs. Playoff neophyte Minnesota eliminated playoff veteran Phoenix last night in Phoenix, 122-116. This was the only game of their four-game series that was close. Minnesota dominated Phoenix. Wilbon, are you focused on the ascent of the T-Wolves or the descent of the Suns?
Tony, I'm torn with this, as you know, because I'm here. I'm here. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. Everybody here today is either down or angry. It seems to be an even split about the Suns, who have to be the most disappointing team in the league this season, given where Vegas had them, when the season began in late October. The Suns were the big three were like the biggest minus, the worst threesome in the entire league. That threesome. How's that possible? Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. But Tony, and so I know we can say, we got time to talk about Minnesota. No, Tony, you know where I've been. You know where I've been on Anthony Edwards all season, ahead of most. I bet you when the votes come out, when they're tabulated for MVP, I'm the only person, the only voter who will have had Anthony Edwards second, number 2, behind only Joker on my MVP ballot. You can see it. That team is talented and tall and deep and starting to get arrogant and proficient and well coached and well led. And that team is all the things the Suns are not. And I think, and I've been wrong about a couple of these series, but I think that Minnesota can give Denver, yes, presuming that Denver wins, and I think Denver loses game 5, by the way, to the Lakers, but Denver will prevail. I think Minnesota could really, really push Denver to the brink. They're that good. Yeah. So I want to praise their ascension and note again the wonder that is Anthony Edwards.
So I see you went to the glasses. Now I feel like I'm working with Roy Orbison. I really like that look on you. So as you know, I root for Minnesota because of an assistant coach, Nathan Bubis.
Yes.
And I rooted for them all last year when you repeatedly called them the dumbest team in the NBA.
They were.
I don't want to go overboard on the ascension of Minnesota because there's another young ascending team in the West in Oklahoma City. And Denver, a team that has ascended, is also young. And it's going to be very tough for anybody to get by two of those teams. So I'm going to concentrate on the descent of the Suns. The guy who bought the team a year and a half ago, whenever it was, paid way too much money, and then began a series of moves that remind me of the guy who bought the Carolina Panthers. He fired a perfectly competent coach and couldn't wait to do it. He brought in very expensive talent in Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. I'm going to go for a while here. Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. Let's look at Kevin Durant. He has won championships with an already established championship team. Wherever he had influence on the culture, in Oklahoma City, in Brooklyn, and now in Phoenix, he hasn't won. Bradley Beal was brought in an allegedly great player. He's not a great player. He's a high-volume scorer on a bad team. He's never won anything. The three of them are owed, with Devin Booker, $150 million next year. And as you said, they were minus 37, minus 50, minus 51 in this series when they were on the court together. So they appear to be a disaster at the moment. And I'm done now. Thank you.
Tone, I'm not going to disagree with anything you said about that. They can't run it back. People are saying that because they have no roster flexibility. They better, and Bradley Beal's got a no-trade deal. And Devin Booker's a franchise. I don't know what they can do. Woo.
No.
We're going to do something a little different right now. Tony, we're going to wish happy trails right here in the A block. Happy trails to Philly fans who let a horde of New Yorkers invade their building yesterday as the Knicks beat the Sixers by 5 to go up 3-1 in that best-of-7 series. Jalen Brunson was amazing, scored 47, serenaded by chance of MVP in Philly. Joel Embiid called the turnout disappointing. Tony, do you come to praise the Knicks and their fans, or, as I will, bury not the Sixers, but their fans?
Okay, so I'm going to do something that I know I have your approval when I say that in the old days, Knicks fans would not have been in Philadelphia, and they certainly would not have worn Knicks stuff. And if this was a football game in the old days, Eagles fans would have beaten them up and then be hauled off to a jail inside the
building.
Okay?
Yes.
Right. I don't personally believe that the Knicks fans have anything to do with the outcome of that game. I mean, I really don't. I think it's the fact that Joel Embiid is basically hobbled. He can't move. I saw him get a shot blocked in this game, and the best player on the court was Jalen Brunson, who had 47. Yep. And you know what, Mike? They're not going to boo Jalen Brunson because he played at Villanova. And they're not going to boo Josh Hart, who's 6'4" and had 17 rebounds, because didn't he play at Villanova as well? Joel Embiid guaranteed the Sixers are going to win this series. That's not looking really good right now. But I don't want to rip Embiid, even though he's yappy about the fans. I don't want to, because he's out there playing hurt, and he's trying his best. But I would ask you to tell me again how many Eastern Conference Finals he's been to, because I think it's less than one. I think it's less than one.
And it doesn't look like it's going to be one now either, Tony. I agree with what you said. Man, let me go back to Philly. Because, you know, they like to give it to everybody. And so today, Philly fans, you got to get as well as you give. Because they were weak, tepid, didn't show, came late, acted scared, didn't support the team. They let the New York Knicks fans, probably the most obnoxious fans in all of sports in some ways, overrun their building. Knicks fans went in there and took over. Tony, I think it did have some. I think they got juiced by it. I think the Knicks did that. Okay. Jalen Brunson's been great all season. Their votes he's going to get for MVP, by the way. He's great in this series. They can't touch him in the last 2 games after 2 bad shooting games. But Philly, come on, man. Joel Embiid's out there on one leg. Philly fans like to give it to everybody. Philly people, Philly media, the loudmouths in the Philly media, they want to tell you how weak you are and how great they are. They were, my favorite word now, Tony, junk yesterday. They were weak.
Pocus,
get off the stage. Get them out of here.
Well, to be fair, the Philadelphia 76ers at home shot 6 of 24 in the fourth quarter when you have to do better.
Yeah.
They weren't any good. They weren't any good. You know, and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, 15 for 40. So,
they're
you know,
lame
wasn't very
fans.
Good.